roller press brake shear, and I sheared out the space. I tried clipping the corners with those hand shears, but I don't have the hand strength. It's a little too thick. So I'm going to see if I can just nibble away around and get somewhat of a shape, and then use a sander to sand it in. I know Harbor Freight sells stuff like this. I'm not sure. There's no nameplates on this. I bought this used. It's possible it's a Harbor Freight. I have no idea. But it works good for what I'm doing. We'll put it in here and roll it to get our curve that we need. And you'll have to excuse the mess. Got stuff packed in shipping containers. I have not unpacked it yet. So we're going to nibble away this corner here to try to get some curve, and then we'll dress it up with the sander. All right, there it is after nibbling it out. It actually works pretty good, just following the line. You can see between the clamp, when you get it in there, you can see between the clamp, there's the clamp, and the blade here. So you can line it up pretty good. And I just nibbled it away. And then I'll smooth that out with the sander. And I'll take those two corners off. And then do the rest with the sander. All right, so I'm getting ready to roll this, and I've never used this roller, or maybe I have, I can't remember. But I know one of the things you really have to do is make sure you have the rollers parallel. So you can't have like this side farther apart than that side when you roll, or else you start rolling a like a weird arc or a taper. I guess it'd be a cone sort of shape. So there's no real way to do it. All I'm doing is lining up. I don't know if you can see there's the slot where this slides in. I just got this roller edge even with that back one. I'm going to do the same over here on this side. I don't think you can see that. Sorry, it's crappy light. I'm in a shipping container. And then I'll see what I can do. I'm hoping that's a loose roll. You want to do it in steps gradually. So I'll just see what I can get here. I'm going to have to like loosen the handle and move it back and forth a few times as we do it to try to get it to roll through. The other thing is I have to make sure this curves the right way. It's going to be mounted on the motorcycle this way, so the curve would be facing away from us, so it needs to go in like this, so that way it'll curve it with this being the belly. We're also making sure as when we feed this in that we are coming up square to this back roller. So that way we are parallel to it, not cattywampus to where we would again roll a cone instead of a cylinder. So a couple of things you look at. I've just been adjusting these back knobs in about a turn and rolling it and seeing as I'll try to like ease my way up to it. So it's starting to curve, you can see. But I did notice that these rollers flex really bad in the middle. They'll actually spread apart as you're trying to do stuff. I've moved over. I was trying to do it down the middle. Moved over to the one end, and then what I'll do is I feed it in one way, and then I flip it around and feed it in the other way, because since it's flexing here in the middle, it is imparting sort of a cone to it. So by flipping it around each pass, it seems to be keeping it a little bit more square. I don't think we're there, but I'm going to run over and take a look and see how close we are, whether it's looking right or not. You can see if you look at this when it's rolling, since the ends are tighter and it bows in the middle of these rollers, you can actually see it imparts that sort of potato chip shape to it. I think it'll work. We'll just keep going, flipping it back and forth, and I think we're getting pretty close. This is where we're at so far. Well, good news and bad news. I'm pretty close with this. It needs to be bent a little bit more. But bad news, the bushings that go onto the end of this main roller, this one's cracked and this one blew apart. You can see pieces laying here. So the bushing sits in here and allows you to adjust the height for different thickness of materials. So this thing's DOA. I got my lathe over there, and I have oil light bushing material, but looks like that's going to be a different day. I may be able to just find some bushings. Maybe I'll try to measure this slot in here and see if it's a standard width. It should be. And I'm sure the hardware store would have some bushings. I guess if I got you in frame, you would know what the hell I'm talking about. So you can see that one's cracked. It looks like it's probably cracked. These kind of thumb wing nut things are used to adjust the height. So you set it up to where your height is. Maybe I cranked it a little too tight, but I haven't had this that long. So it looks like it's been over tightened a few thousand times, or they shoved the wrong material in there. So here's what I've come up with. I ended up having to straighten this bend out a little bit, and then this one also to get it to lay underneath. I looked at on top or underneath, and I think underneath looks a little bit cleaner. This could be a little bit better, you know, matching the line. Hopefully it won't need to come back too far, much more than that. I'm not sure how her bag sits. I sanded it up, and then I'm going to put a piece of rubber. I have an old inner tube, and I'm just going to lay a piece of rubber underneath here, so that way it'll keep it from vibrating and rattling, because I'm sure this is going to vibrate a bit. So I'll do that, and then we'll get a final view, and hopefully she'll come out tonight and put her bags on, and we'll see how it ends up looking. So here it is on there. It definitely could have been, you can see it's kind of high on this edge and tucked in pretty close over here. Definitely could have been rolled a little bit tighter, but since that thing broke, and probably actually could have been rolled at somewhat of a taper, it would have worked out well. See the little piece of rubber in there. That's probably, as soon as she puts the bag on there, if there's any weight, it's probably just going to vibrate and come out. But there it is in all of its glory. Hopefully she appreciates it. And if not, then she gets to make the next one. I'm tempted to remake the whole thing and doing it full length from, you know, here all the way out as one piece. And then just do like grain the aluminum brushed finish. So we'll see. Thanks. Bye. Thanks for watching. And shop update. Shop is up. I guess that should be what I should be working on, is shop update. Shop is up. Nothing's really in it. I've been moving stuff in slowly. So there it is. Got some gravel down because it was just a mud pit. Burn pile over there. So there it is. I don't have electricity yet. I'm just running an extension cord over here to do a little bit of stuff I needed. You can see drill press, plasma cutters in over there. And then I pulled everything out of storage. We were paying, you know, it's 80 to 100 bucks a month for storage. So I pulled all the box out of storage. This is house kitchen stuff, and then this is all shop stuff, knife making stuff in these boxes, plus books and everything else. Got to make some sort of bookcase for the house. We don't really have any bookcases to put the books. I got boxes and boxes and boxes of books, and no place to put them, and they're going to get ruined out here. But this is it. Not bad. Carolina Carports, they came out and put it up in 3 days, so I was happy. I do have the time lapse that I have to get put together. But again, my desktop computer's in one of those boxes back there, I think. And so I got to get that out, get it hooked up, and go from there. I also have another channel, the Shower Sherpa. I'll try to stick a link down below, or maybe over here, someplace, or there, somewhere. And I bought an electric guitar, and I'm trying to learn how to play electric guitar. I've got the little shop over there. That's my electronics shop at this point. So I've got an old amplifier that I'm trying to get to work and see. I picked it up at a secondhand store for 20 bucks. So, but that's it. Yeah, just a bunch of junk in a big hollow shop and no electricity. So, power will come sooner or later. As you can see, I graveled over my marks for the where the trench needs to be. So I'll end up having to shovel that gravel out of the way, trench through, lay conduit from the house to here, and then I'm going to pull alarm stuff, power stuff, main power coming over. Then I'm going to bring a phone line over, bring an internet hard line over, and also a switch so I can have a light. So there's some extra light switches in there that do nothing that I can figure out. So I got to bring switched power over, so then I can turn, like if I'm leaving the house and come over to the shop, I can flip the lights on over there, and then the lights will be on outside. So, and then we're also I'm thinking about bringing a propane tank in and putting it here. Then we're also going to run a propane line to the house, so that way in the future, if we want to put in, we would like to do a gas stove instead of the electric stove we have. So do a propane stove in the house. Other than that, we missed most of the pretty fall colors. There's still some gorgeous stuff, but yeah, about a week ago it was something else. Deer season starts, actually rifle deer season starts on Saturday, so I'll be sitting in a tree stand Saturday morning. Got a couple of good sized bucks on the property wandering through, so maybe I'll stick a picture of one of them in here now. Other than that, that's it. It's coming along. It's going to be a work in progress. Sorry I have not made any knife making videos. They're coming. I've got piles of stuff, and I've got people that have been waiting for 2 years for a knife, and I haven't had my shop up in 2 years. So I'm itching. It was kind of fun doing this project because at least I got to start making something with my hands and get back in the swing of things. All right, thanks for watching. All right, so here's the bike with the bags on. You know, if you can see that there. Let me see if I can get my flashlight out. You can see it's resting on it, but it should be enough to, keep the heat off it. We'll have to see. There they are, strapped down. Homemade saddlebags for the little wee GS.